Dream ticket review. The last one was about 4 months ago. We get these around every 4 months. You get a free main box, mini box, ultra rare, and super rare. They expire if you don't use them. These will expire November 21st, 2021. So within this year. And it's worth noting that the Dream tickets before this are expiring after the new Dream tickets. So it looks like Konami is shortening the expiration on new Dream tickets. It's very, very important. This is the most important decision you have in Duel Links. What do you spend your Dream tickets on? So be ready to be disappointed to learn that you spent your Dream tickets on the wrong thing, or like a smart person, you held on to your Dream tickets for my video, as I do one every time. Let's go.
There can only be one winner, and you're looking at him. Let's go.
Ultra rare, super rare Dream ticket. If you don't know what these are, just log in. You'll get them over a few days. I think 4 days. They're a login reward. They're only usable up to Rage of Volcano. So these, you're not being able to use your Dream tickets on these. And you're going to see what cards you're not going to be able to get, the relevant cards. So you might be thinking about a relevant card. I'll show you on stream, YouTube, on what you can and cannot use your Dream tickets on and what you should use them on. Now, there are limited sales right now. I'm not pushing these limited sales. I just want you to know that if you are planning on using your Dream tickets and you're also willing to spend money, that I don't want you to spend your Dream ticket, then spend money, and then get a card that you spent your Dream ticket on. So just know about these sales. I'm not pushing these sales. I just want you to know about them as I review the Dream ticket. So I don't know, it's up to you if you think these are good sales. You get the guaranteed SR sale, the 50% off sale from older boxes, and the selection box sale. While the selection boxes are out for a limited time until June 14, the sale is until May 31st. So if you do plan on going in on the selection box, you do want to do it within the sale. Otherwise, afterward, you just say, screw you, Konami, no thanks. Now, very important info to consider when using your UR and SR ticket. A UR from a main box is worth 4.5 thousand gems. So that is the ideal, because a mini box UR on average will be worth 2.5k gems. Now, a main box super rare, because there are 2 in a big box, the second copy is discounted. So maybe you want to keep that into consideration when picking up multiple of the super rare. But otherwise, everything besides the main box ultra rare is worth 2.5k gems. Your priority ideally would be the higher value one, the 4.5k gems. Do not use your Dream ticket on a structure deck or an event card. The structure deck, it's guaranteed. It's either going to be 5 or 1,000 gems, 500 gems, 1,000 gems. The event card's for free. This is a scam. I think this is a scam too. Do not do this. Now, you could also ideally wait till the expiration, November 2021. That is going to be when they expire. You're not going to have new options for your Dream ticket, but the meta could change, and older cards can become viable, as you can see here. Fusion Gate, Deep Sea Diva, they became top tier and they were older cards for newer decks. So a big example is the Mecha Phantom Beast Lion. That might be a really good Dream ticket target for your Dream ticket if the Synchron Shooting Star Dragon becomes top tier. So you do want to ideally wait. Otherwise, you could use it for the KCGT Cup happening soon. It's a 72-hour event to qualify for the Fake Worlds. Or just wait after the KC Cup. This is maybe seen as the big brain idea because a ban list usually happens. Do you want to spend your ticket, then it gets hit by the ban list? Probably not. So maybe you want to wait. So wait or wait more. Let's talk about what you should use it on now, though. Ticket use priority. Number 1, use on a top tier deck's core card. A core card is what a top tier deck is using. I would say 85 to 90% of those decks using that card, and it's actually core to the deck. It's not something replaceable. It's not something like, oh, Book of Moon's so great, even though 100% of us are using Book of Moon. That's a replaceable card unless it's core to a combo. Now, ideally, when you use the Dream Ticket, it's going towards completing the deck or a deck you plan on completing. So if you pick up one card that you need 3 of for your top tier core deck, what good is it, right? So if it's going to help you complete your deck or be close to completing it, this is your main priority. Now, the number 2 priority would be a popular tech card that many decks or a top tier decks are using. So many of them are using it. This would be something like Book of Moon, but Book of Moon's not usable with the Dream Ticket. You'll see what's usable, but that's an example. And then the other priority would be useful extra deck cards or tech cards that many decks are using. It seems like this may be the same as the second one, but these are more situational, like maybe one good deck's using Lance and the others aren't. This would be a card like Treacherous Trap Hole. This would be like Forbidden Lance or Diamond Direwolf. You'll see those examples. Now here are warnings. A top tier core card is only as good as the deck is meta. If the deck is no longer meta, then it's no good. Now, you may be like, okay, that's why cards like Cosmic Cyclone are obviously the better choice. Well, a top tier tech is usually optional or replaceable with a similar card. So for example, a card like Cosmic Cyclone, what does it do? It deals a back row. What else does deal a back row? Mystical Space Typhoon. What else deals a back row? Forbidden Lance. So usually these really good tech cards are not going to be mandatory core to the deck to play them. So do be careful with that. The number 0 rule before using your ticket is the meta is always ever changing. Stay up to date with the meta on twitch.tv/duellinksmeta or duellinksmeta.com to always know what is meta with the DLM events. So a quick little reference, if we go to the website real quick, this was a recent tournament that just happened today, fresh. Full deck type breakdown into the top 32. So these are some good results to look at as we are reviewing what to get. Now the number 1 rule is to select boxes when you are going to spend your ticket. Now, Konami before, they thought they were sly, or maybe it was a mistake. They were still showing structure deck cards when you click on boxes. And now when I click on boxes, it's not showing structure decks. But just in case it is for you for some reason, do not use it on structure decks. But it does look like they fixed it. So good job, Konami. Important disclaimer at the recording of this review, this is what the tier list looks like. So if it drastically changes somehow with the new mini box, if a deck falls off or a new box comes in, just know that this is how we reviewed. So you want to keep up with the meta on duellinksmeta.com and twitch.tv/duellinksmeta. Let's move on. The power rankings look like this. So while not all these decks, what's the difference between the power rankings and the tier list? The tier list is created by the Top Player Council, the best performing players in a 3-month season. This is their prediction if a big event were to happen, what would do well. And the power rankings is not a prediction. It is what is actually doing well right now. So it's like a stock doing well right now. And if they don't put the stock on the tier list, they think the stock's not going to do well in the future. So do consider this. If you care more about the power rankings or the tier list, this is both of them. Now, the power rankings from 4 months ago, last time we did a Dream Ticket review, this is what the tier list looks like. It's quite different. So why am I showing you this? It is to show you that we did tell you to wait right before a ticket expires. That's the ideal. But if you want to use your ticket now, there is a chance that the tier list will be different in a couple months from now. So it went from this to this. It's very different. Also, here are some decks to look out for in the next couple weeks of maybe you might want to use your Dream Tickets towards these decks. Yosenju, Water Exceed, Cyber Dragon, Tech Janus, Heroes, Shiranui. The new EX Structure deck is maybe making Synchros or Karakuri top tier. You got to stay tuned for that. The new mini box could make Desperado come back. It can make Red Dragon Archfiend be a top tier deck. So these are not going to be recommended in my Dream Ticket review, but they are decks to look out for in the coming weeks. Now, the last Dream Ticket could not be used on these cards. So if you held on to your other dream ticket and you wanted to use it on any of these cards, well, now you get to use your dream ticket. These are the new cards. Because every dream ticket gets updated with new boxes you could use it on. The Coach, the Arvata, these are the new boxes. We'll talk about if you even should use it on any of these cards. Onomatopoeia is a really good card. We'll be talking about that in a bit. Now here's the bad news. You cannot use your current dream ticket on these boxes, which means you cannot use your dream ticket on Tenki. You cannot grab an Excalibur. You cannot grab an MST. You do not get a Cyber / Harpy, no Channeler, no Perfumer, no Levineer, no Photon Strike Bouncer, not even Utopia Ray, no Heliopolis, no Dweller. You cannot get any of these cards with your dream ticket. Now, based off the current meta, these are my recommended one-time sales. If you don't want to spend money, that's fine. I'm not telling you to spend money, but if you have money that you do want to spend on Duel Links, I don't care if you spend money on Duel Links ever. I don't even care if you play Duel Links. As long as you're watching my videos, that's all I care about. So as much as many people think I'm shilling for Konami, trying to make them money, I don't care. But if you want to spend money, these are recommended sales. You get 10 packs and use the code DLM at the checkout. Thank you. Recommended selection box cards. These are limited time reprints. So do consider if you plan on going into these. If you don't, that's fine. Ignore this. But until June 14th, the sales until May 31st, these are limited time reprints of cards that are being used in top tier decks, as you can see right here. So Sphere Kribo, it's a strong staple in the current meta. You have Cosmic Cyclone being used in Onomats. You have Selection Box 3 using the Vermilion Dragon Mech. That would be a good use for your dream ticket. You have Selection Box Mini with the Lance, Trunade, Treacherous, Karma Cut. Can't use your dream ticket on Levineer. The Selection Box 4 is going to be good for picking up your Raiden and your Charger Light Brigade. Can't use it on Book of Moon. Now, here are the current top staple tech cards. These are the big 5 staples. And you can only use your dream ticket on one of them. Can't get Book, can't get MST, can't get Dweller, can't get Malevolent Sin. You can, if you want, use your super rare dream ticket on a Treacherous Trap Hole. Why? Well, here are the stats. 25% of Harpies are not using it. 53% of Fire King are not using it. And 57% of Blue Eyes are not using it. So why am I telling you the 0? Because I think that's the most relevant thing to look at. So you should look at this and go, oh, 75% of Harpies are using this. So this is not core. It's just a very popular tech card. I shouldn't even say staple. Just change the word to popular. Because staple makes it sound like it's needed, but it's not. Now, 4 months ago, compared to this is the current top staples being used in today's meta, just to, again, show you how much the meta changes. The meta 4 months ago, Karma Cut, Cosmic, Diamond Direwolf, and Canadia. These are still quite popular cards, but not enough to be considered a top staple through our statistics, which these are more used. But this is what it looks like, and this is the usage statistics right now of these cards. 79% of Harpies are not using Karma Cut, but some are. So you look at these, consider these maybe. This is what was good 4 months ago. Now let's get into the juice. Top tier core cards. These are core to your deck. Your deck does not work optimally without these cards. You need these cards to work optimally. So tier 1 means these decks are expected to be a large percentage of a top cut of an MCS or a KC Cup. That means in a 7-round tournament of the MCS with the best players around the world, you need a 71% match win rate to get in the top cut. So your deck needs to be consistent and be piloted by a good enough player that chose to play that deck. There's only one tier 1 deck right now, and the best core card to get for Harpies is nothing. You can't get any core cards of Harpies. There's no core cards of Harpies, I'm sorry. They don't want you to get Cyber / Harpy, Perfumer, Channeler. There's nothing core to Harpies that you could use your dream ticket on. Actually, Swallow Nest. Now, the Swallow Nest is going to be a 2.5k gem card that you could use it on. So this is what it's going to be, 2.5k gems core card. Now main box tax. Remember, I think core cards are more important than tax, but just to show you, Forbidden Lance is usable. It's worth 4.5k gems if you use it on the Lance, but 64% of Harpies are not using Lance. Another ultra rare 4.5k gem purchase could be Utopia. Utopia is being used in Harpies and Fire Kings. 68% are not using it in Harpies. 24% are not using it in Fire Kings. These are both completely optional. You don't think of these cards when you think of a Harpy deck, but they are using them a little bit, some of them. Another popular, now the 2.5k gem tax, because these are the big ones, is Treacherous Trap Hole. We already looked at the analytics of this earlier, so this is a big card to potentially get. Karma Cut, 79% of Harpies are not using this, but some are, so it is listed. You could potentially use that if you want to. We're going to do a full breakdown of what's good and what's not good, so don't worry. Another tech is Harpies Hunting Ground. 63% are using it at 1, 30% are using it at 0. Using your dream ticket on this over your Swallow Nest, I would definitely not recommend it. You want Swallow Nest over the Harpy Hunting Ground, definitely. So if you somehow have 3 Swallow Nest, then you can consider Harpy Hunting Ground, which, while being a tech, is only usable in Harpies. At least Karma Cut and Treacherous as a tech can be used in other decks. This is a tech just for Harpies. I'm going to note that Utopia, I do not recommend Utopia at all unless you have Utopia Ray. So there's nowhere in this interview or review, I should say, where I'm recommending you to get Utopia. I'm just showing you the analytics that Utopia is being used. But when it's being used with Utopia Ray, which is not obtainable with your dream ticket. So if you do not have Utopia Ray, don't even think about Utopia. I don't care how much you like Yuma. No one likes Yuma, but do not do it. Now we're talking about tier 2. Expected to be in the top cut of an MCS, but not a large percentage. We got Fire Kings. There's no ultra rare core cards for Fire Kings, which we will have up here to show you the full list of cards being used and what's in the core. Now, for the super rare ticket, the super rare ticket can be used on Arvata. Arvata is used 100%. This is core to the deck. You need 3 of this card. Any amount of Arvatas will make your Fire King deck better. But it's worth 2.5k gems of your super rare, which is the most value you can get out of your super rare ticket anyway. So this would be a really good option if you care about Fire Kings. Now, a big tech, ultra rare, 4.5k gems, Sphere Karibo. Only 13% of Fire Kings are not using Sphere Karibo, so that's big. That's 87% of Fire Kings are using Sphere Karibo. It's not core to the deck, but it's a very popular, powerful tech card. Even Thunder Dragons are also using it. Another deck where Utopia is being used, but again, you have to use it with the Utopia Ray. Otherwise, don't even think about it. And then, again, Treacherous Trap Hole for the 2.5k gems worth of your dream ticket usage. Diamond Direwolf. 92% of Fire King players are playing Diamond Direwolf. Well, Dkayed, that means it's a core card. I don't think it's core still. It's just a really good tech. Wolfbark is kind of trending downwards, but still. 46% of people are using Wolfbark with Tenki. Tenki, if you don't have Tenki, don't even use Wolfbark. Tenki could search the Wolfbark. And that's it for Fire Kings. More top tier 2 core cards. So Fire Kings and Onomat. I did not put Fire Kings before Onomat because I believe the deck is better. They're equal. They're both equally tier 2. So let's look at Onomat. This is big. 4.5k gem core card. So far, there is no core card that we've talked about that you could get 4.5k gems worth with your UR Dream ticket. This is going to be used at 60%, use it at 3, some use it at 2. We could look at some deck list examples. Here's a recent top list example of how to play the deck. So this would be a good way, a good deck to copy. Very good. Now for the 2.5k gems worth of core cards, Gaga Bolts. You have 44% using it at 1. So being used at 1, that could be a good way to complete your deck. If you already have your onomatopoeias, your sisters, I don't know how you don't have bolt then, but you somehow don't have bolt, completing the bolts, getting that 1 bolt, that pretty much completes your deck if you have the others. Now we're talking about Yugioh Sister. Yugioh Sister, 60% are using it too. As you can see in this deckless example, 1 Sister, 1 Trinade. You could get away with 1 Sister because of the skill, being able to search it. It does drop your consistency of having it on the first turn alongside your Yugioh, for example, to have that turn 1 bouncer play. But there you go. Sister, 60% too, 29% at 1. Even some are using it at 0. Now here is a big tech. Cosmic Cyclone currently just being used enough in Onomats. 56% are not using it, so more are not using it than using it. As you can see in this deck, we talked about this. Mystical Space Typhoon replacing Cosmic Cyclone. You could play either or. They both have their benefits and downsides, but that's why you want to be wary of spending your Dream Ticket on a good tech card, even spending it on Mystical Space Typhoon if you could, which you can't, because it could be replaced by something else that does something similar. Hey, Trinade, this could be your time. Pick up that Trinade. You want to play just 1 in Onomats? There you go. Or we always know all the newer decks that are Glass Cannon decks, they end up using Trinade. Konami's never going to ban this card. So if you want forever Trinading, which you could still use in Onomats, 64% are not using it, so do keep that in mind. No other top tier decks are using it. They're just Onomats at 64% not using it, so it's not being used that much, but it's up to you if you want to buy it. Now we're talking about top tier 3. So we talked about tier 1, which is a large percentage of an MCS or KC comp. Tier 2 is topping in MCS or KC comp, but not a large percentage. Now tier 3 is expected to be played by a top player. If you're playing Harpies, Fire King, or Onomat with your main deck and your side deck, you do have to prepare for these matchups. These are relevant matchups. They're good enough to be played by good players and in events. They could even win the events, but they may not make the top cut, but usually they do. Blue Eyes. Maybe you don't care about tier lists. Maybe you're just a Blue Eyes simp. If you are, then this is the deck for you. Use your Dream Ticket on a Spirit Dragon. If you don't have a Spirit Dragon, your first Spirit Dragon is big. So being able to use it on your first Spirit Dragon, that is so good. 83% are using it at 2. Very good. Here's the deck example here, right here. 2 in this deck. Great. But if you already have 1 Spirit Dragon, you want to use it on Vermilion Dragon Mech. A Spirit Dragon plus a Vermilion Dragon Mech, 100% use it at 1, is way better than 2 Spirit Dragon and 0 Vermilion Dragon Mech. And what did we talk about earlier? Core cards that complete your deck. Even though Vermilion doesn't have Blue Eyes in its name, it is core to the deck. You could easily summon it. You definitely want to play it. It is not an option. Really good popular picks for completing your deck. Moving on, we still have more core cards. Sage. Every Sage you add to your Blue Eyes deck, it gets better. Your Blue Eyes deck could be playable without it, not optimally, but every Sage you add to your deck, you got 1 Sage, you can get a second one. If you love Blue Eyes, you're going to pick up your second, even your first. Your third would be ideal. Core card. You want this if you care about Blue Eyes. It's tier 3 right now. Still good, but not one of the best decks. Big pickup. Now, 67% of players are not using Spark Dragon, but it is a popular tech. It's worth 4.5k gems if you use your UR Dream Ticket on it. And then we have White Stone of Legend. I'm not calling this a core card. Vermilion is a core card. Whitestone of Legend is not a core card, it's a tech, it's optional. 37% are not using it. Treacherous, many other decks are using it, so maybe you want to use it on Treacherous. Karma Cut, you have for Blue Eyes, 51% are not using Karma Cut, so more are not using it than using it. This will not complete your deck, this will not definitively, objectively make your deck better. It could be replaced. Now we're talking about the final tier 3 deck. Thunder Dragons. Thunder Dragons is kind of in a weird spot. Players are building it in so many different ways, so it's kind of going all over the place. But here are the analytics we have so far. I'm going to show you a Thunder Dragon deck that did well, which may be a little bit different than the analytics we have. Got first place. There you go. First place. $234 tournament. The Triforcetops is not in the Dream Ticket review because we don't have enough players playing it to recommend it. But if you really like this decklist idea, or, just wait. See if other people pick up on the Triforcetops, which if your opponent summons 3 monsters, you get to summon this as a level 6, and it's 2000 defense, and it's unaffected by everything. This could be a great pickup, but I can't recommend it yet. This is a card to look out for. Maybe he's starting a trend. This is why it's very important to continually check out the website and stay up to date with events, because you never know when a card like this just becomes really good. And no, you don't want to use your ticket on this. I just want to make sure there's nothing else crazy here that's not really on the analytics. I think that's pretty much it. So let's go back to the analytics of Thunder Dragons, then continue the review. Thunder Dragon Hawk, 16% are using it too. 3 are using it at 84%. It is ideal at 3. This is a big pickup. 4.5k gems core. This is the most value you could get with your UR Dream Ticket if you are going to play Thunder Dragons. Thunder Dragon Duo. This is good because this completes it. This brings you closer to completion. If you're missing that just one Dragon Duo, this is a no-brainer. Pick it up. It doesn't even compete with the Hawk. It's not Hawk or Duo. It's Hawk and Duo. You definitely pick this up if you have 0 and you care about Thunder Dragons. Sphere Kribo. So that's it for the core card, Sphere Kribo. You have 22% not using Sphere Kribo, so more using it than not. Very good. 78%. Another deck using Vermilion Dragon Mech. It's a tech in Thunder Dragons. It's a core card in Blue Eyes. Now, Vermilion, any deck in the future that could summon level 9 Synchros, it will be a good pickup for that, but you never know what the meta will bring in the future. We may only be Exceed summoning, who knows? More tech cards, we have Armageddon. 20% are not using it. 80% are using Armageddon. Pretty big. Tiras, more people are not using Tiras than using it, so Armageddon would be much better than Tiras. Raiden, 61% are not using Raiden, and we have the most recent deck, or we have a decklist example from Choo Choo. Choo Choo's using Gold Sark, and then we just had the Meta Weekly where Daniel Yu-Gi-Oh! Is using Gold Sark. Raiden and Charge Light Brigade, they compete with Gold Sark, and they're liking Gold Sark more, so some decks are still using it, but I would not recommend these otherwise. All right, let's do a quick summary of what you should spend your Dream Ticket cards on. Now, ideally, you wait until they're about to expire, which will be November 2021, or you wait after a ban list, or you want to do well in the KC Cup and you use it for the KC Cup. Otherwise, let's see what's good. So the tier 1, we're going to add the tier 1 here. Tier 1 Harpies, because it is using Swallowed Nest. So this is the quick reminder of the tier list, even though you see it above my head. Let's go into what's good. For the 4.5k gem core, your most valuable use of your ultra rare ticket is going to be these cards. Onomatopoeia, used at 2 to 3. Hawk used at 3. Spirit Dragon used at 1 to 2. Vermilion Dragon Mech used at 1, but it is in the selection box 3, so do consider maybe picking it up from there and then use your Dream Ticket on something else. So if you have 0 Spirit Dragon and 0 Vermilion Dragon Mech and you really want to play Blue Eyes, at least use your free gems on the selection box to maybe pick it up randomly so that you could use your Dream Ticket on Spirit Dragon instead of Vermilion, where you may accidentally pick it up. So these are the best use of your ultra rare tickets for the 4.5k gem value. Now for the 2.5k gem value. These are your cards. None of them are even ultra rare. All of these ultra rares are from a main box. There's no mini box ultra rare cards that the ultra rare ticket's being recommended to be used for a core part of the deck. Now with your super rare ticket, these are your 2.5k gems core, which, it doesn't matter because it's the same as a main box. Arvata, you want 3 for your Fire King deck. You have Gaga Bolt. You want at least 1 for your Gaga deck, but it's going to be very unlikely that you're going to actually use a dream ticket on this because you will probably pick it up along the way of the other automat cards that you have. Sister, you want at least 1. 2 could also be very good. Sage. If you love Blue Eyes, you have the UR Dream Ticket, not conflicting with the Sage. That's very good. You see how the Sister and the Gaga Bolt, they conflict. That's a confliction. Who do you use it on? Sage, anything up to 3, that's really good for Blue Eyes. Dragon Duo, use your SR ticket on Duo, your Ultra Rare on the Hawk. That's a really good combo right there. The Duo, you only need 1. The Nest, 80% of people are using the Nest in Harpies. I would call it a core card. It is 100% of Harpies are at least using 1, 100%. So if you just go by the tier list, the Swallowed Nest would be your best pick. And for your Ultra Rare ticket, you wouldn't even need anything from here. You would maybe use, let's say you only care about Harpies, you'd pick up the Swallowed Nest. And for the Ultra Rare ticket, you would maybe pick up a tech card that's using Harpies. We'll see if we find any. Let's move on. So now we're going to the popular tech category. Harpies, this is super rare. This does conflict with your Swallowed Nest. You're not going to want Swallowed Nest and Treacherous at the same time. If you had to choose, I would choose Swallowed Nest if you care about Harpies. But being a tier 1 deck means it will very likely get hit by the ban list. We don't know how the deck will be built afterwards, so you could be careful about that unless you want to do well in the upcoming KC Cup. This is a good option with your Dream Ticket if you want Treacherous, which is currently being used at this usage ratios. Now, it is in the Selection Box Volume 2 Mini. You could randomly pick it up from there. I would hate for you to use your Dream Ticket on the Treacherous Trap Hole and then the mini box you pull from it and you get it. That's not going to be fun. Now, in the past 3 weeks of King of Games Plus tournaments, these are the most popular cards. This is an example of how much Treacherous is being used. It's top 5 most used. You can't even use your Dream Ticket on the Malevolent Sin, not the Dweller, not the Book of Moon, not the Utopia Ray, not the Cyber / Harpy. The Heraldry is not even a super rare, ultra rare. You could use it on Utopia, but you only want to use it with the Utopia Ray. So this is an example of how much the Treacherous is being used overall. Now, here is a popular tech summary. You looked at all of the core cards of the top tier decks. Here are popular tech cards and where they are on usage. Utopia is 6th place, but you are going to only use it if you have Utopia Ray. Diamond Direwolf, maybe you want to use your ticket on that, 14th place. Sphere Kribo, 19th place of usage. 26th place, Forbidden Lance. You got Cosmic Cyclone, 27. 28th, we got Fiendish Chain. 31st, Karma Cut. So it is up to you based off of the current popularity of the tech cards of what you want to use your Dream Ticket on. Otherwise, these are the only core cards that are worth using it on right now. And again, I'm going to repeat. Look out for these decks I'm about to show you. Yosunju, Water Exceed, Cyber Dragon, Tech Genis, Heroes, you may want Stratos, Shiranui, Synchrons, Karakuri, Desperado, Red Dragon Archfiend. These are decks that may become top tier. Otherwise, I could only recommend proven decks that are good right now that the Top Player Council believes will do well in upcoming events. And that's it for the Dream Ticket review. Hopefully you all used your Dream Ticket responsibly, whether it was on a very popular card, these are very popular cards, or Treacherous, or any of these core cards for your favorite top tier deck, or, you know, it's completely fine to use it on a non-top tier deck. Are any of your favorite decks on these popular deck rankings? Maybe you love Yosunju, even though it's not top tier. You could use a ticket towards it. You want to use it towards Heroes. If your deck's not on the tier list and you really enjoy it, then there's a good chance it's not going to get hit by the ban list. It could be a safe bet. But that's going to be based off of player preference. So that's why I'm not recommending you use it on a card like Stratos. If you like Stratos, I don't need to tell you to use it on Stratos. You know you like it, you then use it. So if you look at a hero deck right here, let's click on it. Again, for example, if you liked Heroes, this is a breakdown of how Heroes are played. So you would click on any hero deck on the website, just for example, this one, then click on the breakdown for the automated breakdown of the best way to play the deck. This is a King of Game worthy deck. Is it top tier? No, but could it be top tier? Maybe, maybe it will. So whether you want to use it on your favorite deck or the current top tiers, that is what you should use it on. But please, do not, and I repeat, do not use it on X-Raider.